I was young enough to be so ignorant that I didn't realize everything that could go wrong and everything I didn't know. So I just tried it.
And it just basically says that we are the stories we tell ourselves. And that has a huge influence on us. And the story you told yourself was, I can't lose. And some people would say, well, is that arrogance? It's not cocky. It was just, you had a quiet confidence. Like, you just expected things to work out. And
yeah, because everything in life always would work out.
Yes.
So, and what was the worst thing that could happen? We were going to lose our life savings, but the older I get, the more I realize I don't know. I was incredibly ignorant, foolish, to my great fortune, because otherwise, if I knew everything I knew now, I wouldn't have even pulled the trigger and tried it, right? So you just got to get in the game. You can't win the game if you're not in it. Do the right thing, trust yourself, and surround yourself with good people.
Welcome to the 5-Star Life Show. I'm your host, Coach Seth, and we've got a great show lined up for you if you just tuned in today. Thanks so much for tuning in. You can learn more about our organization. We're a nonprofit organization celebrating 20 years of transforming lives. Literally, our whole mission, I'm just going to hold up for you. By the way, you can watch this, and if you're a visual learner, go to YouTube at the 5-Star Life or yourhometv.com. All these shows are archived there, so you can go back to them. You can subscribe. They'll come automatically to your inbox. It's an awesome thing. I recommend it. You can also listen to the show anywhere podcasts are streamed, so thanks for tuning in. But literally, our mission is just transforming students' lives by challenging the way they think, act, and lead while equipping them with the academic, athletic, social, and employability skills they need to thrive. So that's a mouthful, but you think about those quadrants. Equipping them with the academic skills. So many kids are just checked out of education. And so 5-Star Life for the last 20 years has been helping them re-engage in education, help them find their why. And a part of that why comes through our innovative learning program where kids are bused up to our 400-acre campus to do school the old-fashioned way, by doing. It's hands-on. They're in the greenhouse. They're learning where food comes from, learning agriculture, how soil compost works, and how to plant seeds and watching it to grow, the whole growing cycle. It's a wonderful thing, including things like nature programs where we have our own elk herd and we have birds of prey. We have farm animals. And so kids are learning all these agricultural pieces hands-on. They're also learning some incredible things with blacksmithing. I was just out at Summit here last week, and I got to witness these kids in the blacksmith area, and it's like they were like ants working together. These are 5th grade kids going into 6th grade, and they were like, it was loud because there's clanging. They're heating up metal at 2,000 degrees. They're pulling it out, and there's the hot commands, and they're broken into teams. And it's like these kids, when they're entrusted with something that matters, it's amazing how they rise to meet those expectations and they absorb what they learn. Anyways, we're on a mission and we're getting it done. We have 5-star basketball that gets the athletic side. We have a diversion program called LIFT that works with the court systems and kids who get in trouble. They and their parents are assigned to this 6-week program, and we have a 95% success rate at them not reoffending. It's really powerful. So we're on a mission, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. Go to 5starlife.org to learn more, to be a part, to volunteer, to donate. And thanks for tuning into the show. I want to introduce, I don't have a co-host today. Coach Mia's out of town, but I've got mic'd up my boy, Coach Kevin. Producer Kevin back here. Kevin, say hello.
Hello, how are you?
And Kevin has, I wish you could see him because he got the biggest smile on his face. He's had it all week because Kevin just got engaged. So the man is now taken. Sorry, ladies, he's off the market. And so now, Kevin, congratulations. We're so excited for you and Abby.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited myself.
That's a big step.
Yeah.
How are you feeling right now?
I'm excited. I'm ready.
And you guys have known each other for how long?
I think since junior year in high school.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're talking, how many years is that?
1, 2, 4, 7 years now.
7 years.
Oh, no, 8 years.
So high school, You guys reconnected in college,
Yep.
both from New Mexico,
Yeah.
came to Holy Cross, and played soccer. It's an awesome story. And Abby works with our Lift program, and it's just incredible. So, anyways, congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, we're gonna have a fun show. We have we have to sit down with John Anthony of Anthony Travel Service. And by the way, some of you have heard of Anthony Travel Service, but it's kind of interesting. They're like sneaky successful because they don't pound their chest, but literally they put more people in hotel rooms than any other organization in the world, which is crazy. They have a niche business. Anyways, we're going to sit down with their founder, John Anthony, who back in 1989 decided as a CPA, he wanted to do something with sports. And you're going to hear the story. It's super fun, but we're talking about, I'm not sure how many, it's anywhere from 300 to 500 employees, 40 some offices across the country. And they work with over 110 universities handling all the travel. So like they're responsible for getting, all these athletes and all these programs and these universities to their championships, to their bowl games. And so they also handle experiences for the NFL, NCAA, FIFA, and a bunch of other professional sporting events, the Olympics. It's just amazing. And it just started with one guy's idea and dream and conversation. So stay tuned for John Anthony. It's an incredible story, and he's an incredible man. So much wisdom. He was just spitting wisdom for me. It was really good. So stay tuned for that. Before we jump into that, want to just share a little bit. We're heading into another school year, and what that means is there's tons of parents and kids getting ready for the next school year. And there are so many things that 5 Star is preparing for this school year. We'll have about a few thousand kids that will go through our innovative learning program where they're bust out their first school, but it's state standards, but it's hands-on, it's engaging. And so if you're somebody that maybe you're retired or you have time and you want to come alongside some of these students as they learn, we're looking for more volunteers. And if you're a business owner and you're like, man, I wish kids could learn more about our industry. We would love to build a pipeline of employees that they can maybe get their feet wet and get an idea of what this industry is. We're talking to so many business leaders right now about reverse engineering kind of those roles and those jobs so that kids can start as young as 5th grade practicing and learning these things. Our real initiative here is these kids are bored out of their minds in school. And with AI, the age-old question, Kevin, was like, everybody's always asked this, like in school, like, why am I learning this? What's the point? And with AI, it's even worse. Like, why don't you learn this? Because I can just ask AI.
Right.
And so partner that with the dropout statistics and the number of kids that are dropping out. And forget that, the number of kids that don't drop out, but they're checking out of school and all the behavior issues. I mean, we see it all the time in the news. Mm-hmm. Teachers, it's like an exodus from the school system because they're like being harassed. There's so many behavior issues. And I'm telling you, all this goes back to when kids are not engaged and when they have a messed up mindset, of course they're going to act that way. Mm-hmm. And so 5 Star Life is addressing that by addressing the core root issues, addressing the way they think, and then also giving them some competencies at a younger age before they check out, starting to get them on a path so they understand why they're learning, why they're in school, where it leads, and keeping them engaged. So would love for the community to get involved. We have so many great businesses and individuals that get involved over the last 20 years, and we're growing, so we need you now. Go to 5starlife.org to learn more and get involved.
We're talking about the programs that we're looking for companies to come and reverse engineer. What is the one program that we're really pushing right now?
So right now, we got a donation from an organization out of India, a company that makes wood mills, and they send them all over the world. It's a really niche business. They came out on a tour, and they fell in love with what we're doing. and they're big fans of kids and education. So they donated a wood mill, their biggest wood mill, to us. And so we have a wood mill and a kiln. And so we are now raising money to be able to build a facility where we can take the full life cycle of that tree, cut it down, put it through the mill, dry it in the kiln, then start to shape it. So we have several conversations happening right now for getting kind of that wood shop put together, the facility and the equipment. So we will have kids at young ages starting to do woodworking, and we do that with blacksmithing. So we're gonna have some amazing projects.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
So we have another group that's wants to bring electrical into this and help kids start to learn electrical opportunities. I mean, the trades people are saying that, like, for a decade, you're going to have a hard time finding people to do work. And that's where we're at right now. I mean, it's hard to, if you need some like drywall done or handyman stuff, it's hard to find people to do stuff because there's not enough skilled laborers.
Right.
And so what we want to do at Five Star Life is say, listen, every kid does not need to go to college. It's not the career path. As a matter of fact, I have friends who went to college, engineers, etc., and they're telling their kids, like, no, be a welder because the next door neighbor makes more money than I do and loves what he does. And so I think we have this whole paradigm shift right now. I think the pendulum went from all we push is college. It's all about getting kids to graduate from high school and get on a track to college, to now we're saying, hold on, that like trades, there's so many other pathways. And I think they're unlimited. I think the reason that kids drop out and check out of education and then live day to day, smoking weed, living for the weekend, no vision, no purpose, is because when they're in school at some age, if they weren't a sequential learner, they felt dumb. They felt like they weren't a good learner, and that they connected that. They really let that become a part of their identity. Like, I'm not going to be successful, so I guess I'm just going to live to party or live for comfort. And what Five Star Life is doing is saying, no, that's not the case. Just because you don't learn sequentially or learn in the same way that education says is the best way to learn, because 85% of people actually, according to research, learn best by seeing and doing. Most people learn best by doing it hands-on. And so we're able to teach that in a big way and help kids understand and find what they're great at. I like Five Star is the great equalizer. This innovative learning program is a great equalizer, Kevin, because you have kids that are getting straight A's in school and they come out to Summit in blacksmithing and it's just not the way their brain works. And you have the kids that are struggling and they're just like super sharp, engaged. They're leading the way. In every different course kids go through out there that's hands-on, there's like different kids that are shining and finding their gifts and their talents. And we get to connect that back to, guess what? Everybody's got purpose. Everybody's got potential. Everybody has talent. But to build those skills, you have to work on them. And if you will work on them, that means you have to make sure you get reading and writing. It means you need to get the core of your math. You need to get the core of your science. You need to get those cores so you can do these other things that you'll need in this job. Then the lights come on. It's really powerful. That's awesome. So thank you again for tuning in. This is our passion. You go to fivestarlife.org to learn more about the organization. We also have so many opportunities for you to volunteer, and we have a curriculum that goes into schools from Michigan to Florida that is teaching all the things that we know as parents and community members that our teenagers and preteens need. Things like respect and responsibility and integrity and sacrifice and courage. So we're teaching these 5 core values, and then we're teaching these 7 skills, right? Teaching critical thinking and emotional intelligence and self-awareness, all these things that seem to be lost, we're hitting, and you can learn more and bring it to a school or community near you. Go to fivestarlife.org. We'll be right back after this. The 5 Star Life Parent app. Each lesson includes a short video and simple discussion prompts designed to help families reconnect and start talking again. Because when parents lead the conversation, kids grow stronger. Download the 5 Star Life Parent app today and start your first family conversation this week. transforming kids' lives by challenging the way they think, act, and lead.
I'm just curious, Anthony Travel Service, where did it start? How did it start? Where to begin?
Well, it begins in a Dallas-Fort Worth area with a board accountant that wanted to work in sports. So I was a CPA and was looking to find a job in sports. Couldn't find anybody to hire me. Best buddy called one morning talking about the football weekend the day before, famous Notre Dame Miami '88 game, talking about who all was here for that game and all the money that was spent and how do we get some of it. My sister, fortunately, was a travel agent. So that night we went to Bennigan's and talked about what travel agents do and how they get paid and decided we could give it a shot.
That is a really cool story. Yeah. So you're a CPA by trade.
Yeah.
And wanted to be in sports. Where did your love for sports come from?
Just what you, like everybody else, you just grow up loving sports, play every sport, read every word on the sports page every morning. And if you're going to work 8, 10, 12, 15 hours a day, it's probably a good idea to like the subject matter and like what you're doing.
True. But some people never take the step, never go to Bennigan's, or they leave it at Bennigan's on a napkin.
Yeah. Yeah, my personal story of that, it's just good fortune that I had a great family I grew up in, so everything had always worked out. I'm the youngest of 6, good education, smart, loving parents and siblings. What's going to go wrong? I was young enough to be so ignorant that I didn't realize everything that could go wrong and everything I didn't know. So I just tried it.
What you said is so powerful. It's actually something we teach kids. Like we have these, there's this branch of psychology called narrative psychology. And it just basically says that we are the stories we tell ourselves. And that has a huge influence on us. And the story you told yourself was, I can't lose. And some people would say, well, is that arrogance? It's not cocky. It's just, you had a quiet confidence. Like you just expected things to work out. And
yeah, because everything in life always had worked out.
Yes.
So, and what was the worst thing that could happen? We were going to lose our life savings, but my wife and I had $5,000, so that, we put it in. Same with my sister and her husband and my buddy. So worst thing that was going to happen was I was 24. So what was the worst thing? I was going to be 27 and out of a job and out of a business. Now I've lost $10,000. Okay, well, if I don't do that and I go to MBA school at the time, would have cost the same thing. And so this was the downside was I was going to have a street smarts MBA instead of a business school MBA. I don't know.
If you had to do it over again, would you make the same choice?
Oh, I wouldn't change one thing in life, period, even the bad things, just because I don't want to disrupt where I am today and everything's so good. So
I'm such a big believer in just doing. I think we learn so much by just like sometimes I meet with people and they like want to go through this business plan and I'm like, listen, you just, take the first step. Like the plan's fine, or it's terrible. It doesn't matter. If you want to do it, you just got to go. I mean, you got to be smart about it, but you have to figure it out as you go when you're building a business, because you're going to rip up business plans. At least that's what we found in our organization. Like,
absolutely,
the world changes every 6 months, so start taking steps.
Ideas are terribly overrated. It's all execution.
Talk about that.
Well, an idea is important that it's not got a fatal flaw. But other than that, why does one restaurant open and for the last 20 years and one's been closed in 20 different places? It's just what are they executing? So that's true with any organization, right? So any enterprise, and it gets back to what you said. We're, as our mutual friend Jacqueline Croc says, we are a place for GSDs. That's the degree you need to work with us. You need to know how to get stuff done.
That's right.
Not know how to do it, but just go get stuff done.
Just go do it.
Yeah. Just like you.
Well, so curious, when you're in Bennigan's or when you're dreaming, you're thinking about what this could be, and I want to get into sports, and my sister's a travel agent. We want to get a piece of the action. At what point did you realize it could be what it is today?
Tomorrow. When you start something from scratch, by yourself with just the few of us, you always believe you can be back to zero the next day. It can be 10 years into it, and you don't forget what it was like on the first day when you were by yourself. So you have to be optimistic in order to even try this kind of stuff. But once you do, you also have to be paranoid, because everybody's trying to put you out of business every day, whether it's intentional or not, whether it's a competitor or not, whether it's an obvious competitor or just other options that whoever you're trying to serve has. So you got to have a healthy paranoia. So when did I realize? I mean, there's no chance we're out of business tomorrow, but I don't know who's doing something in a garage right now that I've never heard of that's going to be trying to put us out of business 5 years from now. So we have to be thinking that way.
Talk a little bit, I'm just curious, about, so you started it, and how fast did it scale? And where did you start, and how fast did it start to scale?
We always were growing as fast as we could, but we're the old-fashioned bootstrap. So we never had any outside capital. We never borrowed money. We never did an acquisition. So this was just organic growth at, double-digit percentages every year. Just turns out if you do that for long enough, there's that great thing called compounding. The eighth wonder of the world. It is, yes. So you compound a double digit for 30 plus years in a row, then you're at scale.
I often describe what we've done with 5-Star Life as we're the turtle. Out there, we're the turtle.
You said that, right.
We're just steady consistency.
Yep.
Yeah. Which the people that I have interviewed that are the most successful, they're in love with the grind. Like, they enjoy the game and the grind. It's not like when I get here, then I'm going to just, back off. Do we all get fatigued at times? Do we need to rest? Yes, but there's something to be said about that. Is that true with you? Do you enjoy just the grind of it, or the process, or?
The simple answer is yes. The direct answer to the words you chose is no. So I'm not a process person. I have massive respect and appreciation for process. It's not how my mind works, so I surround myself with process people. But to your bigger point of, do you just love? Yes. What I love is the people we work with, the people we serve, the mission that we serve, the subject matter that we serve, and let's be clear, you're saving lives. I'm not. I'm dealing with sports and travel. What does everybody want to do when they retire? Travel and go to sporting events? So do I love what we do? Yeah. Do I have anything else I need to do? I want to go do? No. So, and the grind, as you say, what I love is growing a business also. So there's a responsibility in that with all the jobs you provide, wanting to help people grow and whatnot. And that you're doing something right by the customer and for the customer, perhaps that they couldn't do themselves or couldn't get it done as well without you.
Sure.
And so then how do you grow that and always try to come up, make sure you don't become obsolete, make sure that you don't become stagnant, that you're not taking steps back. So you always got to be looking for how to do that and what's next.
And you carved, I mean, travel agencies have been around for a while, but you guys carved out a really unique niche. Talk about the niche.
Well, we serve sports and universities, and that's a function of when I said, great people. So, yeah. Talk about ideas and how valuable they are. 1989, starting a travel agency, we thought was a great idea. It's a really growing segment of America business, and there's 33 travel agents, and each year there's more, and so that sounds, great. And we weren't smart enough to know about something called the internet or all sorts of things that were going to change within 10 years of starting. When we started, 80% of all travel agency revenues were from airline commissions. Airlines paid travel agents 10% of the price of a ticket for being their distribution arm. 10 years later, that was zero. So it wasn't such a great idea. We weren't really brilliant and seeing down the road. In fact, we chose an industry that went from 33,000 companies to under 8,000 companies. The magic was the people we had in the room figuring out what are we going to do if things change. It wasn't just a complete rip the Band-Aid off thing. It happened a few paper cuts over a few years. But early on, we had decided we were only going to do things that we thought a customer would be willing to pay us to do. Not reliant upon a vendor to pay us, but if a customer will pay us because they can't do it themselves as well as what we could do it for them, they pay us for that. So it's a pretty simple concept. Yeah, somebody's got to pay, Why are you buying an iPhone? It's the same thing.
Sure.
Because you think it's worth it. Mm-hmm. So we needed to do something that we thought that people would think was worth it, and not just a matter of ease compared to doing it something else,
So with Anthony Travel, what's your superpower? What do you think is the thing that you're adding the most value to? Why has it grown?
Well, the superpower is the people that work there and how they take care of each other and the clients. What does that superpower become? It becomes the whole formula of having leverage and pricing and services for our customer set that nobody else has.
Mm-hmm. Incredible.
At 5 Star Life, we talk a lot about the right tools. See, the hammer is the courage to be the best person you can be. The chisel is the respect you give and the respect you earn. The level, that's the integrity that keeps you balanced in a world that's always shifting. And the saw represents responsibility. It is what separates you from harmful actions and experience. It's the sacrifice it takes to work hard and be your best. Tools, when they're all used together, things are built. There's progress, but where there are no tools, there can be no progress. We give these important tools to kids every single day, and we couldn't do it without our partners like Global Link Distribution. Global Link supports this mission so that these values, courage, respect, integrity, responsibility, and sacrifice become the tools these amazing young people use to become great. Global Link Distribution is a leader and supplier to the RV, manufactured housing, cabinet shop, cargo, and horse trailer industries, but they're also a proud sponsor of this program to help 5 Star Life students thrive. It is our turn to see to it that our children have the tools that build greatness. Volunteer or donate today at 5starlife.org.
Who has influenced your leadership the most? That's probably a tough thing to hone in on.
My wife.
How so?
She cares about people better than anyone I've ever known, and makes sure that that's at the the beginning, the middle, and the end of what the decision is going to be.
You are a fortunate man,
Yes, I am.
and she's a fortunate woman. 5 Star, we talk a lot about mindset. When things don't go right in travel, personnel, situations, whatever. How important is mindset in your business, with your people, with customers, clients?
Yeah, it's interesting because we're in an industry where we rely on other entities to execute everything that we're selling. And so we can manage travel for a university and the team, but then we're reliant on that air carrier, that bus operator, that hotel, and so forth to deliver what that customer is expecting. And early on, we saw that a lot of, it's easy for a customer to complain about their agent because that's who they interacted with to get done what they needed to get done and to buy what they were buying. So they were upset when they're not getting that. The mindset that we brought to it, that we have been fortunate to be close enough with our clients that for the most part, they're of the same mindset as we are now. We're on their side. We're part of them. So you came to us because it's our specialty. We should be able to deliver for you. I'm sorry it's not working out the way you expected. That's not our fault. We're going to go get it fixed for you and get you back where you need to go and get the trains running on time if we can. But the mindset of, we're on your side, you're relying on us. We've got a lot of good resources on this. Let's just go do it.
Yeah. And there's nothing more frustrating in any service industry that you're paying for is when you reach out with the problem and they just blame, well, it's not our fault, right? There's nothing more frustrating because all you want them to do, like, life happens. So we all know life happens. But when they don't take responsibility or they don't fight for you, it's like they're for you, you're just like, I want to find somebody that's for me. And I'm sure that's why you've...
Yeah, we serve a lot of teams, right?
Yeah.
We sell more airplane tickets, sell more hotel rooms, charter more buses for teams than anyone in the world. So that's almost by definition we're going to be in situations where things didn't go the way somebody needed it to. Whether they lost a game or there's a rain out of a doubleheader on Saturday, so now they want to play a doubleheader on Sunday, which means they can't come back when they were supposed to, and they want that changed. There's going to be a winter storm. Yeah, college basketball season, you think about when that's played and where that's played, there are going to be a lot of disruptions. So knowing that, what can we do about it? Well, make sure we have access to solve it. Make sure we have access to the partners, suppliers that we're relying on to deliver for the customer. Make sure that the customer can reach us at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night, not just some reservation center line. They want to talk to somebody who understands their business, knows who they are, knows their situation. So you just have to put all those systems in place to be able to deal with that.
Okay, so I'm just curious, turn out the clock. Well, let's start with this. How many universities are you working with?
110.
110 universities. That is mind-boggling. So walk me through the first university conversation.
I was living in Dallas, Texas, and the area where I basically grew up. I was calling on Notre Dame because that's where we went to school and doing a lot of business for them. 1 year into our business, and they asked us for a proposal about managing travel for their all of campus. And so Katie and I said, okay, we'll move to South Bend and I'll work in the office on campus, to figuring that nobody else that was going to bid on it was going to say their owner was going to be in the office there and taking care of them. So that's how the first one.
So you were all in.
I would say that's all into it.
Yeah. You're moving, going to work from there. We're going to take care of this.
Yeah.
And how long did it take for you to grow to the next university, and what did it look like for the next?
3 years later, we got our second school. And that was, again, this isn't magic. I was in Dallas. It's where one of the other co-founders went to school.
Yeah.
It was down the street from the office we had started in. So we started reaching out and trying to get them to buy into the same story we got Notre Dame to buy into. Very few things in my world have been magic. If you're building AI, that's probably some serious magic stuff.
Yeah, right.
Not what we're doing. Not really what you're doing.
No,
It's people talking to people.
that's right. It's the work. It's the relationships.
Yep.
It's execution.
And what you're doing for people that you haven't said, but my sense of being around here is you're giving some people, not, you can't do this for everyone, and you're it for some and somebody else is it for another. But one of the greatest gifts somebody can have in life is someone who believes in them more than they believe in themselves. And you had that in your life. I've had that in mine. And if somebody gets that, it can obviously raise them and hit that, help them hit heights. And so that's, all right, we're at a stage of life where hopefully we're doing that for people.
That's really well said. What do you think of this place? You're going to be your
Amazing.
first impression.
Blown away. To me, best kept secret around. I'm sorry it's a secret to me, but I'm sure it's not to many others. And especially now that you're getting into all the school districts, the secret's going to be out. But facility, attitude, smiles on people's faces, the unlimited upside. Yeah, this is cool.
Thank you. All right. Curious. I know you're serving teams, athletes, coaches. I don't know how close you get to those locker rooms, or how close you get to some of the energy and some of the mindsets and some of the winning traits. But I'm curious if you have any insight into can you see any trends with certain schools, universities, and how they work with you and how they interact and how they succeed in sports?
That's a great question. I'm a massive believer in culture. The line that culture kicks strategies ass every time, I completely agree with. You do get surprised sometimes, and I'm certainly wrong where I've seen what I thought was good culture and they didn't win, or not great culture and they did. But more times than not, organizational alignment and culture runs all the way through. And you can find where, from the absolute leader of the organization and how they're interacting with people and how they're treating people, and this is, I'll use college athletics since that's what I know best. That's what you're talking about. There are places where that, from the top through every coach, how they interact with our staff, you get a sense of that, and then you're pretty sure that's how they're interacting with their players, how the players are interacting with each other, and top down, bottom up, has some real similarities. And guess what? All of a sudden you see that they're winning 5 national championships, and you think, well, maybe it's not just a coincidence.
Exactly. All right. What would you say to a young leader, an up-and-coming leader, who's either trying to climb a ladder or they're trying to start their own thing or thinking about starting their own thing? And if culture is king, what would you say that one or two most important places to start?
Not sure I know a great answer other than what you've said earlier and the word you just said. You have to start. Nothing's going to happen in the starting blocks. You have to leave the starting blocks and go. You're not going to know the answers. You're going to be wrong on a whole lot of them. The older I get, the more I realize I don't know. I was incredibly ignorant, foolish, to my great fortune, because otherwise, if I knew everything I knew now, I wouldn't have even pulled the trigger and tried it, right? So you just got to get in the game. You can't win the game if you're not in it. You get in the game, you try to figure it out.
That's good. If you're talking to a 14 or 15-year-old student who they want to have meaning, they want to have purpose, they want to live a 5-star life, they want to live a great life, they want to succeed. Maybe they're unsure of themselves. Maybe they have anxiety about being enough. What message would you say to them?
Do the right thing. Trust yourself. And surround yourself with good people.
Awesome. All right. John, thank you so much for your time.
I hope that was helpful. Or
Oh my gosh. This is so good.
you. Honor to be with you.
So good.
The 5-Star Life Parent app. Each lesson includes a short video and simple discussion prompts designed to help families reconnect and start talking again. Because when parents lead the conversation, kids grow stronger. Download the 5-Star Life Parent app today and start your first family conversation this week, transforming kids' lives by challenging the way they think, act, and lead. Welcome back to the 5-Star Life Show. I'm your host, Coach Seth, and I am joined in studio today with my guy, the one and only producer Kevin, Coach Kevin back there. Kevin, how are we doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Coach Mia's out. What a fun show. John had so many incredible quotes that again, I'm a big believer in absorbing and latching on and grabbing wisdom. He's learned a lot, and passing it on to us is amazing. But, you know, he said something. He said, the power of believing in someone more than they believe in themselves is a gift that he was given, a gift that he recognized I was given. We both had somebody that believed in us. And he talked about, 5-star life. He said, we're getting people to sporting events. You're saving lives. And I think the beauty of both of us, I don't look at it that way. I don't look at one is more important than the other. Because without the John Anthonys of the world, nonprofits, charitable organizations that are truly saving lives, changing culture, are funded by who? Those who also have a vision and a mission. So to me, it's not one or the other. It's not one is more important than the other. They're all important because all of us finding our purpose in life, finding out our why, that's important. And when there's purpose, there's impact. And so I have huge regard for him, but it all starts with believing in these kids and finding people that will believe in these kids and work with them and coach them and push them through the highs and lows more than they believe in themselves. That's exactly what we do.
Powerful.
Kevin, do you have people like that in your life? Do you have people that believed in you?
Yeah, I think you're one of those people that believed in me, because when I first started 5-Star, I don't think I had the confidence that I could do this. I don't think I had the confidence that I could come in here and actually produce a podcast or produce video editing. So definitely you, and definitely my coaches that have gotten me through college. They believed in me, and so I'm here because of them as well.
Well, you're super kind. I was not expecting that. It's so interesting because so many people I know that are either running organizations or companies or nonprofits all say the same thing. They love going after athletes. And so there's just something about the work ethic, and there's something about high-level athletes that played in college where you're used to working. You're used to figuring it out. You're used to, evaluating like, this is where I am, this is where I want to be. How do I get there? And okay, I'm not on track, or maybe I undershot it. I need to pick up this workout. I need to find this trend. I need to learn a little more. And so you just find a way. And it's like so many athletes just find ways, and that's what you've done with this. And you've made our show look better. You've done so many great things here. So it's fun.
Yeah.
Another takeaway from John Anthony, culture eats strategy for breakfast. Or culture kicks strategies, what. And I think it's so true, but Kevin, most people, and let's talk about education. There is such an emphasis and so much pressure to do, and standardized testing and all this pressure, that what gets lost is culture. And we were able to this week host South Bend Community School Corporation. Last week it was CANOPS, their career area network of public of charter schools, and so we were able to host both of their groups, and we host others in the last 10 days, and that's what we do. We just pour culture into them, and we ask them really simple but deep questions about like who do you want to be this year, and what is your DNA this year? What is your culture, and what are you moving toward? Because if you have the leadership team and all the people that are making the decisions, if they can get all united on the same page and their culture is strong, it's going to trickle down if they're intentional. Mm-hmm. And so it's obviously at 5 Star Life, culture is everything here.
Right.
Our values are everything. We hire based on values. We promote based on our values. Everything, every conversation we have is through our values. Right. It's a beautiful thing. And then he said one more thing. He said, if I would have known then what I know now, he said, I wouldn't wish to know that, because I probably wouldn't have started. And I can relate to that. If me and Jim and Mia, co-founders of 5 Star Life and mentors of mine, we've talked about that, like, man. And Jim is older than me as a mentor. He's started businesses, and so he was at a stage where, like, man, that if I would have known, at a stage where he probably could have been thinking about retirement. Yeah. Like, he works a whole different significant job and then volunteers for 5 Star. But he could have just kind of, rode off into the sunset and just enjoyed golf and boating, and that's what retired people do. Instead, we met and we began to build this thing. And to this day, he volunteers, 30, 40 hours. It's just crazy. Wow. And but we talk about that, like, if we would have known all that we would have had to gone through to do this, we wouldn't change it for anything. But if we could have saw it, if somehow God would allow us to pull back the veil and see everything we had to go through, and we asked for that, we're like, oh, we just want to see it. We just want to see the whole picture. It's like, it's that old movie, that Tom Cruise movie, A Few Good Men. He's like, I want the truth. Like, you can't. Jack Nicholson, you can't handle the truth. And that is so true. And I think God knows. Yeah. Like, we couldn't handle. Like, we wouldn't want to stack up all those things. Yeah. But the beautiful thing is that's how we grow.
Yeah.
Right?
Got to take the step.
You take the steps, you grow, you learn, and then you build skills. Right. And it's interesting because in today's culture, Kevin, the AI culture, the social media culture, there's a lot of people that wrongly think that these people that are successful on social media didn't have to work for it. Mm. It's really interesting. It's like, oh, they got lucky. Or, oh, they're not really working hard. Those people are working their tails off. Yeah. Absolutely are. And so there's in every generation, there's a group of people that get it, go after it, are successful, and they use the tools, the technologies, whatever's available to find a way. And then there are people that just make excuses and say, well, I just, I wish it was easier. Yeah. I wish I'd have as much adversity. And it's like, that's just life.
If I had that,
Yes.
If I had that.
If I had that. So, anyways, it's interesting. I want to just tie this lesson or this show up by just giving a little, because John Anthony, it makes me think every time I interview somebody who has started something and run something for as long as he's run it, over 40 years, we're talking about some serious self-mastery. And we teach in 5-Star Life, we're like, listen, students, we can give you one secret that if you can listen to this and follow this, you will never be nagged again in your life. Like kids are always complaining about my teacher's nagging me. My parents are, always all over me. And I'm like, oh, hey, we got a solution for you. Did you know that there's one thing you can do that I promise you will never be nagged to clean your bedroom or do your dishes or pick up your clothes or do your homework again? Like, what? How do we do that? It's called responsibility. Take personal responsibility. And you can call it self-mastery. Friedrich Nietzsche, is quoted as saying, he who cannot command himself will be commanded. I'm sorry, that's right. He who cannot obey himself will be commanded. He who will not obey himself will be commanded. So if you can't you can't obey yourself and clean your dishes or make your bed or do your homework, then you will be commanded by your mom, your teacher, your coach, your boss, and they will command you. And so I think about guys like John Anthony. Guess what? He is obedient to himself. He is commanding his whole life. And so over the last 40 years, he's lived a life where like he's in charge. And a lot of people are like, I want to be in charge. I want to be in charge. Well, actually, if you followed him around, you probably wouldn't want to be in charge because that's a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of pressure, right? The higher you go, the more successful you go, the tighter the funnel is, right? The more people are depending on you. And so a lot of people wrongly think that that's the easy path. It's the hard path, but it's an amazing path. And as we say in 5-Star, choose your hard, because both paths are hard. Being commanded by others, being told to do with them, that's hard too. Yeah. Which version of hard do you want? Do you want to take personal responsibility and learn to master your own impulses, your work ethic, your health, your finances? Do you want to become a master in those areas, or do you want to be commanded by others? That is a powerful concept that we get to teach students as young, like elementary kids are learning these things. Wow. Which is fun because the lights go on. They're like, oh, okay. So, and guess what? The benefit is when you start commanding yourself and you get up, you make your bed, you brush your teeth, you take care of your stuff. Like anytime you do something like that, the brain rewards you. It releases a little dopamine. You get the good endorphins going because guess what? Your brain's rewarding yourself for completing something. You feel good about yourself. Yeah. And so people that do that, guess what? Their mental health is better. They're more positive. They're more upbeat. And they have agency. They have control because we lose respect for ourselves when we're lazy, when we're procrastinating, when we know we're not doing those things we're supposed to do, because then we know we're letting other people down. Like it's a domino effect that can totally be avoided if we just take personal responsibility and really practice self-mastery, learn to master and obey what's inside of us to do and accomplish with our lives.
Right. And it just teaches discipline from a very young age, which is, I think, one of the hardest skills to master, especially when you're older. Like, I don't know. Sometimes it's hard being disciplined, even just in the gym. So learning that from a young age is super powerful.
Yeah. And choose your hard because being disciplined is hard, but being undisciplined is hard too. Right?
Yeah.
You don't pay your bills on time. You don't get in shape. Like it is, because all of it is training your brain to run a program. And so you're either training it to do hard. This is wild. I was talking to somebody last week. Actually, it was from Surf Internet. Their CEO he does Ironman races. He's done a bunch of them. He was telling me about a guy that has done 50. He did 50 Ironman races in 50 days, which is insane. What? He was flying all over the world and doing these races. He literally fell asleep on a bike. But he said the crazy thing is his last Ironman was by far the best and the fastest time. Why? Because he trained his muscles and his brain to get better and better and better. He programmed himself. This is how we do this. We're capable of so much, Kevin.
Wow.
We're capable of so much. But this self-mastery piece is really foundational for kids and for you and me to actually reach our potential and live that 5-star life. All right. What a fun show. Thanks for joining.
Of course. Thank you.
Hope everybody enjoyed it. Again, you can learn more at 5starlife.org. We'll see you next week.